Thank you for joining me for this To the Point Extra. Florida's election law, authored by Republican Governor Ron DeSantis and the Republican-led legislature, is controversial. Parts of it have been struck down by a federal judge, with the governor promising an appeal of that ruling. Against that backdrop, I talked via Zoom with Cecile Scoon, president of the League of Women Voters of Florida. She joined me from Panama City.
It basically made voting more difficult. It took away options, it limited options, and it was so intent on limiting options. If you look at the limitations on the drop box, and the whole concept of a drop box is to facilitate people's voting who are not able to come to regular business hours, a 9 to 5 or 8 to 6. Either they work shift work, they have family obligations, they're working 2 jobs, any number of things, or they don't get off in enough time to be able to get to the supervisor of elections office. And so it was a great boon to have the drop boxes available 24 hours, 7 days a week. And a lot of people used it, working class people, and many of those being African Americans. And Senate Bill 90, one of the things it did is it said, aha, drop box use. We want to limit that. And we want to limit it so much that we want to completely gut the reason why you have a drop box. We're going to say you cannot have drop boxes outside anymore unless the supervisor of elections pays an individual to sit there and watch the drop box. If they don't do that, they'll be fined $25,000. And we also want to say the only hours that the drop box can be used are regular business hours. So I like to use that one as a perfect example of really being very illogical and harmful to the voters.
Ms. Scoon, talk about the recent court ruling out of the federal court in Tallahassee, where the judge said the law was using subtle tactics to suppress black voters. Talk about that, and also give our viewers a primer on what that judge did to say, wait, we're going to roll back some of this.
Right. Well, that 288-page order is extremely powerful. It was the lawsuit was brought by the League. We were the first plaintiffs, but many others joined us, our allies. And the judge took his time and analyzed each particular plaintiff's case and the history. But in so doing, he took credence from the expert testimony of, I believe it's Dr. Birch, who testified. And she went into the history of how the Florida legislators seemingly intentionally were looking at every methodology that African Americans were using over the last 20 years. Whenever there was an increase in a particular type of voting style or a voting methodology, the legislators would come back and literally target that particular use and make that particular use more difficult.
Does that include absentee ballots that Republicans championed for many years as a better way to vote, and then in 2021 said, whoop, let's limit that? Same with drop boxes. Does that include that?
Exactly, because before, when it was a Republican tool, primarily white users, it was no problem. It was safe, there was no fraud. And as soon as they looked and they saw that African Americans, who in their minds tended to vote more democratically, were using it more, the tool has been whatever methodology the blacks are using that's increased, that is what they stop. And so the vote by mail is what has been targeted greatly in all the aspects. And this has been done with Amendment 4. There was another bill, I believe it was Senate Bill 1355 that actually Senator Baxley had introduced in the past that also targeted the methodology that black voters were using every time with IDs and things of that nature. It would always focus on how to shut down the black vote. And the judge literally ruled that it was intentional for the last 20 years, that the Republican legislators had intentionally targeted to limit black voting with their laws because they felt that black voters were Democratic voters.
And so he has struck down some of these parts of the law, not in its entirety, but restrictions on things like drop boxes and the like. What else has he rolled back right now? And how confident are you? First, talk about the rollbacks that the judge made, and then how confident you are they will stick, because this is already going on appeal to the 11th Circuit in Atlanta, and many argue that federal court is, quote, more conservative. First the rollbacks, then will it stick?
Okay. Well, we talked about the drop box limitations. Those have been rolled back. So now the drop boxes will be available regular, the way they used to be, the regular hours, whatever hours that they used to be. They will not be limited to regular business hours. They will not require a paid individual to sit there and watch the drop box. So that's going to open up the use of that. The limitation on assisting people when they're within 150 feet of the precinct or the place where you vote, there is not going to be that limitation so long as it's not partisan. If you needed to assist somebody by helping them walk up a step or open the door for them, or if they've been waiting in line for a long time, giving them water or a cookie or something to help their blood sugar, we can now do that the way we used to be able to do. So that's been taken away. And the third big thing is we no longer have to give those warnings to say we may not turn your voter registration application in on time. When I say we, third-party voter registrant organizations such as the League, who when we assist people to register them to vote, the Senate Bill 90 required us to tell people a lot of things that would cause the would-be voter to not trust us, and we don't have to do that anymore.
Will this all stick with the 11th Circuit? Many conservatives say no way.
That is a question of the hour. My view of all of this is that the 11th Circuit, where I actually practice, I'm a civil rights lawyer myself, not on voting, but on employment.
Sure.
The 11th Circuit and the United States Supreme Court have promised many parties that if you brought a case that had strong evidence of intentional discrimination, they would take note and they would not allow it. So I'm hoping that the 11th Circuit and the United States Supreme Court, if they review this case, adhere to their prior statements and look carefully and give our case an opportunity to be reviewed fairly. The other cases that have not done well at the 11th Circuit and also at the United States Supreme Court did not involve large-scale intentional findings of discrimination as was found here.
Ironically, I've had some political scientists say this is a law that cuts both ways. And while the judge ruled that the judge, who we should note was an Obama-era appointee, while he's ruled there was an effort here to suppress black votes, I had one political scientist say, look, the law affects everyone from millions of white retirees to black Floridians to Hispanics to young people who historically vote in lower numbers. You're going to have to remember to re-register for your absentee ballot. I think it's now after every year or every other cycle, correct me on that, to go get a new absentee ballot registration. So a lot of people are going to forget to do that. The argument some make is that the new law may stink, but it stinks for everybody. Black, white, Hispanic, young, old. Your thoughts on that? Because, of course, the League represents all voters or all voters' interest.
Right. We certainly represent all voters, and we welcome all voters at all times. But we have a particular interest in encouraging and supporting those voters who have been marginalized over many, many years, and often by the government itself. Of course, we got our start as suffragettes.
That's
and
right.
even before that, many of the suffragettes were abolitionists. So we have in our DNA to care about groups that have been shut and told, hey, you don't belong here. You don't get a voice. So we have our eye on these groups that have been marginalized by the government over the many years. And we would say that the evidence was shown that even though the laws, they are there and they are enforced against everybody, what the evidence, if you read the evidence and cited by the judge in his ruling in the case, it showed that the particular limitations would impact African Americans more.
Briefly to two questions.
That's what the evidence is.
I apologize. Sometimes the Zoom feed, I apologize for cutting over your comment there. Republicans argue fundamentally, look, We need this to fight the possibility of fraud. This year, the governor got his separate unit, election police task force, said we need to fight fraud. We need this election unit. Your thoughts on both, that we need it for fraud, that we need a separate task force, a separate police unit to fight this? Republicans say we do, and they carried the day in Tallahassee.
They articulate a lot of things that are verbal, and when you ask them for the evidence, they readily admit, no, we had no evidence of fraud. In fact, Senator Baxley is one of the proponents of both Senate Bill 90 and Senate Bill 524, which you're referring to.
The senator out of Ocala, as I recall.
Yeah, I believe so. He admitted there is no findings of fraud in the state of Florida. The governor said so right after the election. First of all, their person that they wanted, former President Trump, won the state of Florida. So we are literally looking around and going, there's fraud, but your guy won. The one that you espoused and supported won. And guess what? Right after the election, it was celebration time. The governor went on national TV and said how well Florida had done. We had no fraud. We had our numbers in. Everything was running smoothly. The Secretary Lee said this exact same thing. So we have on the record there was no fraud. Everything went well. And the governor even said the rest of the nation should look to Florida to see how to do elections. Going from that to we have to spend millions of dollars and interfere and limit voting access because we are afraid that some fraud that has not happened may happen in the future is illogical. Our state has so many needs, as many states do. We're one of the last in spending on education, public schools. We have not expanded health care. We have people dying for no good reason because they don't have regular access to health care. It's actually literally painful to think about spending money on things that have just been talked about when there's been no evidence, even for the supporters. They said there was no evidence of fraud. So you can't have it both ways.
Ms. Scoon, final thought in your mind. What hangs in the balance here for voting in Florida for people of all backgrounds as this continues to be a central issue both here and in other states around the country?
This is an opportunity for our state to live up to its foundational values that every citizen counts. It's an opportunity for our state to show the rest of the nation that one of the preeminent values of our nation is that every citizen should be able to vote and to be able to have their voice heard. And that was a promise that took over hundreds of years to be reached. And we don't need to go backwards in any way by limiting access to the voting for the disabled, for the elderly, for African Americans, or any group. We all are part of this wonderful state, imperfect nation, but wonderful nation. And we all need to come to the table so that we can have our needs heard. And we do that by voting.